Alex Answer here in Boring, Oregon, just east of Gresham. And by about 4 o'clock this afternoon, I'll be setting sail, pulling the homemade micro camper for the very first time. After a successful test drive, I've now confirmed that this little truck, for the most part, from what I can tell so far, this can pull this. Now, it may not be able to pull it cross country without brakes, stops, rests here, in between hours of pulling this, but this should be able to get around Portland just fine. But parking, that's a whole different conversation. I don't even know where I'll be parking initially. I just know that I won't be going to the same areas that I did before. I need to be going for more wide open areas, places where there's enough room to park this and this. So I won't be going to areas like the Lower Hearst area or inner southeast. I'll be spending more time in the industrial area. But after I wake up here a little bit, after doing a little bit of sanding here last night and filling in some gaps, the 4th coat is going to go on. As I mentioned in the last video, there's been some modification to the trailer to give me a wider turn on the left and right. And yesterday we took the trailer, we pulled it with my truck, and we practiced backing up. And I need more practice backing up in larger parking lots, but we got a feel for what was necessary and how much clearance I had before the thing jackknifes. That's basically a situation where the trailer can't turn anymore, and you have a situation that's not good. So we added another mirror to the truck, and I would definitely recommend the mirrors at Camping World. These go for $13 or $12.99. And what we did here is our own thing. Initially there was a bar going from here to here, and what we did is we just took that out and we used one of the screws and bolted it in the same spot and moved the other over here. And what I've got is a light that's a hell of a lot better than that light right there. But at least I've got my lights now. I've also got car insurance, so I'm good to go on that. All my lights are working, even though I still need to get replacements when I can. And these are expensive on eBay, but for a while I've been salivating over fresh plates, so I'm less attractive to being pulled over by the cops. They love this shit. They love it when your taillights are all fucked up. But I've been legal so far with this tape. Although this tape sometimes comes undone by the wind, and I've got to deal with that. One other thing that we did is we sealed the gap. There was a gap here, and you see weather stripping. You can even hear it. And we've got it all the way around. And I don't have everything that I need to basically cook. And the cabinets aren't exactly done. I don't even have my 5-gallon water container yet. My other one broke. But it's okay. It's alright. I've got oatmeal. I've got bread. I've got 3 spices. I've started and restarted food supply kits over and over and over again. I've lived in different places. I've been in different situations. I've had different vehicles. It's not a big deal for me to start over. I don't like to get too attached to stuff. But now I am in a phase of building stuff. Not only stuff for cooking, but tools, screwdrivers, measuring tapes, safety glasses. Next on my list, I need to get a wrench set, socket wrench set. Those things are very much needed for working with your hands and repairing things. And when the money's there, I need to be able to get a screw gun so I can, easily attach things and repair things. It's a space heater I just used for one night only, and I used it to basically test how well the seal worked. take a look at the inside. This is all red finish, by the way. It's not a large space, but it's big enough for my body. And it's big enough for, you know, an Alex Ansary office or a mini studio. And, you know, maybe somebody wants to quilt, you know, or make clothes, or sew, or make art. Maybe there are people out there with their own interests that would use something like this during the day for something other than sleeping. And the goal is basically to, you know, put this stuff away, you know, and actually do something with this space. And that's where I'm thinking of making regular videos. So going inside, again, I've got a readout here for my solar. It opens up like that. So right here you can see a change. The windows are covered up. That's rigid foam insulation, same stuff as this. And that is what is behind this. This is behind this. Okay, so we have, you know, we have the plywood, we have the rigid foam insulation, and we have the 1/4 inch of wood. With a Mr. Buddy heater, there's also a Sunright company that makes them as well. You know, I should be effectively keeping the heat in, at least for what I've got to work with. Way better than a car, and much better than trying to warm a yurt. As you can see, we've got LED lighting. You know, this is extra space, this dresser right here. But you know, a lot of space is taken up with clothes all over the place. So it's basically something I've decided to put in there. So as you can see, it's a work in progress, and I've, like I said, been going through a lot of anxiety about towing this around town, and now that I have something, you know, being worried about losing something. Looks like a piece of artwork, doesn't it? It's kind of like a face or something. That wasn't the intention. But, you know, it is a piece of artwork. You know, who knows, maybe one day it'll have a banner on it, or a mural. You know, maybe one day I will be at some festival or event with things to share from the back of this. Maybe, you know, Alex Ansary's DVD on something. Who knows? But even though my computer's not working, and even though I don't have a place to park, I'm not letting that stuff get me down. You know, there are people that say I'm negative, but they don't give me credit for building something. Or being part of a building project. You know, being willing to put a lot of my focus and energy into one thing for a period of a month or 5 weeks. And it's still not done yet. It's still a work in evolution. But the main thing is that it's functional. The main thing is that it's ready for the road and that I can transport it from point A to point B. Not whether or not it has a TV in it. Not whether or not, you know, it has plumbing. Not whether or not I have 2 marine grade batteries or just the one that I have. It's more important that it's structural, that it's waterproof, that it'll keep me warm during the winter. And that puts me way above any situation, or, you know, it puts me way above being in something like this. You know, with a Mr. Buddy heater, trying to stay warm as I toss and turn as runner and biker and who knows who else, constantly walking by the truck. That's what I've been through all year long. It's people walking around this and me actually sleeping in this thing with nowhere to park and nowhere to go. And now, situation's changed a bit. Well, this is Alex Hansery signing off, and we'll see you in the next video.